on this program during this segment about the really fun things that happened on this day in Iowa history, but at the same time, we have to make sure that we recognize some of the things that aren't so pleasant to talk about, but still are an important part of the Iowa history.
Absolutely, and this is one of those stories today. We look back, we think this was a long winter. The winter of 1856 and 1857 was especially harsh. Supplies were hard to come by, and tensions were high between Iowa frontier settlers and some Native Americans in northwest Iowa. Now, the federal government had set up a reservation along the Iowa-Minnesota border pursuant to terms of a treaty, but promised improvements were not made on time. Supplies were shipped too late, and what was shipped was not adequate for the Native Americans' survival.
And that, of course, led to some very desperate action, didn't it?
Absolutely did. It was on the morning of March 8th, this date, 1857, that one Native American pushed his way into a cabin occupied by the Roland Gardner family. It was a log structure on the south shore of West Okoboji. That Native American demanded food, which was provided. Then another 14 Sioux, under the leadership of the renegade chief Inkpaduta, entered the cabin. They also ate, and then they left. But then they returned that afternoon, and what became known as the Spirit Lake Massacre began. Between 35 and 40 settlers were killed over a 5-day period, and 4 young women were taken captive. One of those 4 was Abby Gardner, a 13-year-old whose family was murdered in that cabin after providing food to the intruders. She was ransomed a few months later to a federal agent who paid 2 horses, 12 blankets, 20 pounds of tobacco, as well as cloth, calico, and ribbon, and 2 kegs of powder. The U.S. government paid ransom, and she was released.
The story in itself, absolutely hard to fathom that something like that would happen, and the fact that the government was involved in having to pay that ransom. But this is a story that she went on to tell and told in detail, didn't she?
It's really interesting to see today if someone is abducted or something happens to them. They are on every TV show the next morning, and there are docudramas made. But back then, obviously, it was a very different time. But some 30 years after the killing, Abby Gardner, as a middle-aged woman, published a memoir, a book, which became popular because it was one of the last captivity narratives of European Americans being held by Native Americans. At a time when the stories just weren't told, she sat down after some distance and wrote the story. Then in 1891, she actually bought the cabin, her family's cabin where the events occurred, and she turned it into a tourist site. She sold her book and other items there for another 30 years into her senior years. A way to tell the story and also pay tribute to her family who died. Now, the state of Iowa currently maintains what is known as the Abby Gardner Sharp home site and park. As for the renegade chief Inkpaduta, he was never found, but the killing spree he organized led to strained relations for decades, as well as retaliation against innocent individuals. The last Native American attack on settlers in Iowa began on this date in 1857.
Wow, just thinking about that cabin and the fact that her family was killed in that cabin, and she wanted to acquire that cabin, and how eerie that must have been, even to this day, thinking about that and what that must have felt like walking in to that a place that was really a slaughterhouse.
Oh, yeah, clearly going back to the scene of the crime, but apparently it gave her some sense of closure. It also allowed her to pay tribute to her family.
Right.
And again, it took 30 years for her to put this all down in paper form. You just wonder if that was part of the healing process for her, and you wonder how people are today when we put them right on TV and have them tell their story. Has there been enough distance for that to truly be a cathartic thing for them?
Right.
So, just something to ponder.
Now, obviously, have you read her writings, this book?
I did. It was a long while ago. It is remarkable, Michelle, in terms of its detail. It is remarkable in terms of clarity. Because again, as opposed to something that is romanticized or exaggerated, it is
Right.
just a very factual thing, which is what has made it so valuable to historians.
Is that still available then? Can people
Absolutely.
still read that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Still available places.
And I bet we can find out more about that at iowaalmanac.com, right?
Oh, there's a chance. There's a chance.
That and a whole lot more.
As a matter of fact, that's where you need to go if you want to revisit what we just got done talking about today. Go to iowaalmanac.com and actually go back and check out what we talked about today, or go back and check out things we talked about over the past couple of years, right, Professor?
They are all right there for you, month by month, with some hyperlinks, some audio, all of it right there. Also, Twitter and Instagram at Iowa Almanac.
All right, buddy.
Thank
Have
you,
yourself
Jeff.
a great weekend, and we will talk to you bright and early Monday morning.
Be right here. Thanks, guys.
All right, buddy.